line number 629 will be used this evening at the close of my lesson. It is my sincere prayer and desire as you're present here in this most intelligent audience of ours who have not responded to God's holy mandate. Well, I trust that this will be the evening in which you'll make that grand and noble decision. You will be willing to walk out before frowning and criticizing world to confess the sweetest and noblest name ever to be uttered on our tongue. I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. Amen. And be willing to complete their obedience in the watery grave of baptism, and that for the forgiveness of all of your past sins. Being willing to rise to walk in the newness of life. Amen. I have no doubts whatsoever after a life of faithfulness in the Lord's service. At the final consummation of all things, we must stand before the God of heaven, and God's book is open. He will judge you worthy of eternal life, that you will hear that welcome voice of the Master saying, well done. Good and faithful servant, because of your faithfulness. Down yonder are a few things. Come on up higher. I'm going to make you ruler over many things. Truly, we be thankful to God tonight for this another expression of God's love and His kindness. And that we're privileged to come together again this evening for our Father's study of God's Word. I want to express again my general appreciation to those of you who come this evening. As I look across the audience this evening, I witness faces who have not missed a single service since I've been here over the weekend. And I want you to know your presence has been a source of inspiration unto me and inspiration to me, and I'm sure to the Brother Moore and the leadership of this church. It's good having these visiting ministers here with us tonight. I want them to know that we appreciate them taking time out of their busy schedule to come and to encourage this effort here this evening. If you're visiting with us and not a member of the Lord's church, so I believe that every person desires from going to heaven want to be a member of the Church of Christ. I believe that. And the only reason I believe that you're not a member of the Church of Christ is because of the fact you don't know what we believe and why we believe it. I believe that if you knew what we believed and why we believe what we believe, you'd become a part of this group. And we'd travel up the King's Highway together, and then in the after while we'd meet the Lord in the air and forever be with the Lord. Brother Malcolm with us now. I want to turn to Ephesians, the chapters 1 and the verses number 10. Now this will set the basis of our lesson for the next 4 nights. Ephesians chapter 1 and verse number 10. And let us look at your Bible. You may read it along also. Ephesians chapter 1 and verse number 10. That in the dispensation of the fullness of time, He might gather together in one all things in Christ. Notice now, He might gather together in one all things in Christ, both which are in heaven and which are on earth. Hey, look at that. Even in here, the Bible says that in the dispensation of the fullness of time, He's going to gather together in one all things in Christ, which are in heaven and which are on earth. Even in Him. For the next 4 nights, we'll deal with one. With God, there is only one. Amen. With God, there is only one. Now we understand, I won't have to say this again, but when God decided to step out in time and created the world, He made one earth for man to dwell on. That's why the Bible says in Acts 17 and verse 26, of one blood, God made all men to dwell the face of the earth. That's at the bottom of the apple. One of those. I don't care whether you Caucasian, black, yellow, or brown. Whatever. He provided one son to rule the day. He didn't make a son for America, another son for England, another son for France, and another son for Europe. There's one son. Some few years ago, I had the privilege of going to the Bermuda Islands for a 3-week campaign. First time I'd ever flown. I've been driving all the time, Brother Moore, but it's too far. I couldn't make it. And start that Monday night, late that evening, just before the sun went down, I noticed all the sun going down here in Texas. Ordered one of those big jets that flew to Memphis, Tennessee, spent a few hours there, and on to New York City. Next morning, New York City. I looked out there for that same sun. I noticed going down in Texas Sunday evening, I saw it rise in New York City Monday morning. We boarded a 747 Boeing jet in New York City, and that evening I saw that same sun. I was in Texas Sunday going down to the Bermuda Islands. Same sun. Not a different one, but the same one. He provided one heaven for all men in eternity. One heaven. You see what I'm saying? And he made only one heaven. He provided one way to get there. And provided one gospel, which is the one place that will make you fit subjects to go to heaven. That's why Jesus Christ represents the sanctuary back to heaven. Tonight would have been and provided one gospel. Not a multiplicity of gospels, but only one. Jesus said in Mark 16, 15, and 16, go into all the world and preach the gospel.
Oh, yes.
Not a gospel, not some gospel, not a fragmentary of it. He said, preach the gospel. You know, I just love that little descriptive adjective that's used preceding the word gospel, denoting that there's only one to be preached. He said, preach the gospel to every preacher. And he that believeth and is baptized shall be saved. He that believeth not shall be damned. Now why is it so necessary to preach this one gospel? Because this one gospel is God's only power to save humanity. God could never need or nothing or to see the same human family other than the gospel of Jesus Christ. In Romans chapter 1 and verse number 18, the Bible, let's be in verse 6, let's be in 16, verse 1. Well, the Bible says, I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ.
Amen. It is the
power. But there's no doubt. The Bible says, I'm not ashamed of thee. Paul used the same descriptive adjective used by Christ. I believe you see this. I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ.
Amen.
You know, sometimes we get the idea when we're home. I'm not sure about Pablo. It makes a distinction here. They haven't married. So what's the meaning of the word gospel? The good news. But in the good news is not the gospel of Christ. Paul makes a distinction in it for them. He said, I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. For it is the power. He used this scripture back again, proceeding power. Not any power, not some power. It is the power. The power. Now, the word power, I understand it from the word dunamis, which means dynamite. Now, if you don't believe there is power in dynamite, you get some and light the future. And you will find out pretty quick that there is power in dynamite. If there is power in dynamite, there is power in the gospel of Jesus Christ. I know people say sometime today, Brother Matthew, say on the day of Pentecost, they preach one sermon and 3,000 obeyed. Sometimes you preach 301 obeyed. The gospel is as powerful as that, as it was then. Yes, it is. The gospel gospel is just as powerful tonight as it was 2,000 years ago when preached by the apostles of Jesus Christ. It will do the same thing tonight it did then. You know one thing about those folks, they didn't have all the junk we have today to confuse folks. You got so much junk today to confuse the people. They don't know what's what.
That's right.
They don't even know what direction they go.
That's right.
We live in a society today, if you go too slow, somebody run over, go too fast, you run over somebody.
That's right.
All kinds of problems. But I'm saying it is just as powerful tonight as it was 2,000 years ago. Let me give you an example. We all understand that soap is a wonderful cleansing agent, isn't it? Wonderful. We all admit that. That's why we've been telling you, know that soap is a good cleansing agent. But now the fellow failed to use it and start talking. You use it, oh, soap has lost its power. No. Soap has lost its power. The fellow just failed to apply. You see what I'm saying? You get that? You just turned down to miss that listen. So I look at you and tell you, it's just as powerful as the same when the handkerchief, but a fellow has to apply. The gospel of Christ is just as powerful tonight as it was 2,000 years ago. And when we think in terms of power, let's see if I can make an illustration here. We say that water is God's power to quench thirst, isn't it? But just suppose I went to Brother Elder's house and asked him for a glass of water. He will bring to me and put some salt in it. And I drink that salt water. You think that salt water will quench thirst? I don't think so. I don't think so. Like I'm glad to have Miss Evans here in the audience tonight, the children's mother. And Brother Moore, when we first got married, every morning she gave me homemade biscuits.
Amen.
Every morning.
Amen.
Now she gives me home baked for this. You see what I'm talking. You know, back when they made them then, they got a little flour. And even when I was a kid, my grandmother made of everyone big old stove pan of biscuit. Had to sift the flour then, you know, now you got to refine it. You don't have to sift it now. It's already refined, and you just mix it in, everything's all right. But back there, we bought it by the barrel, you had to sift it for two reasons. Yeah, that's right, two reasons. First of all, to get some of the dust out of the lid, and then before you use the whole barrel, the weevils got in it.
Right. That's right.
Amen. That was the second reason to get the weevils out. Then you didn't have this soft Crisco in. You had to melt the lard on the stove while you were putting the baking powder and the salt and the soda in it. Huh? And baptize it in buttermilk. They on the doorboard, rolled it out and cut those biscuits. Had a good biscuit. You know, had to put a little cyanide in that biscuit. You did. So just one thing, had a good biscuit, one thing, the wrong thing added there. A little cyanide, a strychnine, she dead as a macrofish. What you're saying, brother, I'm saying that the gospel of Jesus Christ is God's power to save. But it must be kept pure. When it's kept pure and when pure, it will save the soul. When it's adulterated, when it's mixed with human tradition, human ideas, you destroy its power. There's only one to be praised. Bible says Galatians chapter 1. Hold on even. And verse number 6. He said, I marvel that you're so soon removed from him that called to the grace of Christ and to another gospel. Paul says, not another. There be some of you, and we prepare the gospel of Christ. But though we are an angel remember, preaching the upper gospel, that you receive, let him be an anathema, let him be a curse. Hold it right there. Bible says, but though we are an angel remember, preach in the upper gospel of you, than that which we come out of himself, and other inspired me, that we are preached to you, let him be an anathema, or let him be a curse. Paul is saying that it was possible tonight for even an angel from heaven to come down to this earth and preach something different from that which was preached by himself and other inspired men, give an angel that will never see God's face in peace again. For Peter said, for God spared not the angel of the sea, but cast them down the chains of darkness to be reserved under the judgment. But Paul doesn't stop there. In verse 8 says, we have said before, so say I now again, if any man, regardless of the number of degrees he may possess, regardless of the pigmentation of his skin, regardless of social or political standing, regardless of the background of his ancestors, the Bible says, any man preaching it out of you, that that is a seed, that is be an anathema, let it be a curse. The curse of the Almighty God. Rest upon every man who preach something different that preached by Paul and others, inspired men to God. Now that Paul said, I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, but it is the power of God unto salvation to everyone that believeth, the Jew first, because the Greek of that is the righteousness of God revealed from faith to faith. Let us notice now, just the gospel of Jesus Christ is God's only power to save. Now this word salvation has to do with forgiveness of sin. See, and no person can be justified in the sight of God and in their sin. No, sir. And you can feel and know that you are forgiven. You know, I know a lot of folk going like, I don't want to hear that. I feel all right. Well, I do too. And I tell you, the other night we were driving down here, and a little gas got up there, and I was like a little, that stage that, you know why I was going? Check with the doctor about what's happening. I want to keep feeling all right back here. But see, people are patting on the wrong heart.
Amen.
You need to keep in mind that God is an intelligent being, and God deals with man from an intelligent standpoint. You deal with man's mind and not his physical makeup. So you can feel and know that everything's all right. I'm sure that James Brown used to jump around and holler, I feel good. It felt good. But that doesn't mean what James was saying. There's a lot of folks that feel good. Let me see. Just suppose you went down to the grocery store, the market, and you found some real sauce steak that you want to make some beef stroganoff. You know, you get the sauce steak of that. And you tell the man to give me a couple of pounds of it. He said, now it's $3.98 a pound. And you know, usually when I used to buy it for my wife to make me stroganoff, I kind of take a peep at the scale, see if the man will do it me all right. You know why? I want some evidence. Suppose a man here in Texas committed a crime, and he was sentenced to life over at Huntsville. Yeah, Huntsville. We'll have to get the states together. Huntsville, Texas. And this man made such steep. And finally one morning he run down to the warden. The warden said, let me out of this gun, I'm a free man. What do you think the warden might ask him? Well, how do you know you're free? He said, warden, I feel it. So well, I just feel it all. I feel free as a bird. I feel it in my heart. Do you think the warden will let him out on that type of evidence? I don't think so. I don't think so. But I tell you what, if you walk down to the warden's office with a pardon slip signed by the Board of Pardon and the governor of the state of Texas, he said, open up the gate. Let him go. He has evidence. That is a free man. And see, the only way you can know you are free from sin, you must have evidence. See, the only evidence we have is what the Bible says. If you multiply what the Bible says, then you're still in your sin. See, you can't feel and know that. See, we need to recognize the fact that forgiveness of sin is an executive act. Somebody said, what do you mean by an executive act? When we arrived on the Bermuda Islands, there were 3 young men who committed a murder. they were sentenced to hang on that Thursday morning. They still hang on that. They don't have them next day. They hang on. And you know to whom the attorney was appealing? To the governor general. You know why they were, and all the people were appealing to the governor general to spare those boys' lives. The governor general not only had power to grant a step execution, but he also had power to rebuke those boys' sentence, just like the governor of the state of Texas. Even though the jury finds a person condemns him to life, that governor has power to grant a step execution. He has the power to not only grant a step execution, but to rebuke that man's sentence to life. The governor has no other man in the state has that power but the governor. That's an executive act. And forgiveness of sin is an executive act by virtue of the fact it takes place in heaven in the mind of God and not down here on earth in the heart of man. And this being an executive act which takes place in heaven in the mind of God and not down here on earth in the heart of man, God has stipulated in the will condition upon which He forgives. And if the one comply with the condition, they'll never receive forgiveness. We all know about making wills. I don't have very much. But I tell you what, if I peg out first, I won't get everything together. So I found it necessary to make a will. You know, a lot of times, we as a people need to learn that, brother more. We think we're going to live here forever and finally we peg out, and when they come out of probate court, the government have everything. You have folks showing up here, never a long people they never heard of, because they want their parts. But make a will.
That's right.
Amen. Christ came to make a will. Oh, yeah. There are two wills. If that's an unconditional will, that's conditional will. Christ came to make a conditional, not an unconditional, but a conditional will. In making a will, there has to be a testing. Two things especially must be characteristic of that man making that will. He must be of legal age. A child underage can't make no will. I don't care how much a child underage owns, that child can make a will. And the second thing must be of sound mind. An insane person can't make no will.
Man.
That's right. Must be of legal age and must be of sound mind and must have something to bequeath. What do you mean must have a gift? If you ain't got nothing, you can't make no will. You must have something to offer. A pauper can't make a will. You've got to have something to offer in the making of a will. And then next thing, there must be condition upon which this will is to be administered after your death. And these conditions must be set forth in plain, simple, easy to be understood terms whereby your wishes may be carried out after your death. See, because as long as you live, that will is binding. You can do whatever you want with whatever you own because it's yours. It's not binding. But after you die, you speak on through the instrument known as a will. At the death of the testator, that will is probated or approved by the courts. Administrators are appointed, and those named as heirs of beneficiary receive whatever set forth in the will according to the condition of the testator. Christ Jesus came to make a will. He was of legal age because about 30 years old, he was baptized by the hand of John. And out of all the things that Christ's enemies said about it, they never called him insane. They called him a friend of sinners. They called him a wine bibber. They called him a glutton man. They say he cast out devils in the name of Beelzebub, the prince of the devils. They never called him insane. Therefore, we understand he was of sound mind and of legal age. The conditions are set forth in the gospel of Jesus Christ. He's offered your son. He's offered a salvation in this life, freedom from sin, real living, and the life with him beyond this veil of tears. They're set forth in the New Testament. It took the death of Christ before the will could become effective. In Hebrews chapter 9 and beginning at verse 15, the Bible said, "For this cause he Christ in the New Testament that by means of death for the forgiveness of the transgressions which were under the first testament, that they would have called and received the promise of eternal inheritance." But where Christ before the will can become effective. And after the death of Jesus Christ, we understand that sent to heaven, and that will was probated in heaven's court. In Daniel chapter 7 and verse 13 and 14, the Bible said, I saw the night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, came the eighth of day, and they brought him near before him, and there was given unto him glory, dominion, and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is everlasting dominion, which is not passed away, and his kingdom that will not be destroyed. Thus this will have been proclaimed in heaven, and 10 days later sent the Holy Spirit upon the apostles who were patiently waiting in the city of Jerusalem, and the Holy Spirit gave the apostles power to become executors of this divine will. And every person who got to turn become heirs of heaven and state. They become heirs of God and joint heirs with Jesus Christ. It is only when we come by the condition that we become heirs and joint heirs. You can see that, friend. The God's power set. Now I need to find out briefly before we close this evening just what the apostles preached and what people became when they obeyed what they preached. And what did they join anything or not? When I look at the second chapter, they understand that the second chapter of Acts, the gospel preached in perfection. Bible says the day of Pentecost will come together, one place and one accord, and suddenly there came a sound from heaven, after rushing mighty wind, and filled all the house where they were sitting. And the Bible said there appeared to them cloven the mighty tongue, like as a fire set up beneath them. They all filled with the Holy Ghost, and began to speak with other tongues, as the Spirit gave them utterance. And the Bible said there was dwelling in Jerusalem, Judah, about men, out of every nation under heaven. This thing was all abroad, and when it came together, what they found it. So it means this, all to speak Galilean. How every man speak all tongues, wherein we were born. He said, you need tell a mind, what is a master container, to the prophet, those that one day the bird and found Philip, out of Egypt, having about spring, friends, wrong Jews, and proselyte to the labor. You hear them speaking all tongues, the one written like yet the most saying, these men are full of new wine, these standing up for the 11. Say, these men are not drunk, as ye suppose, silver, the third hour of the day, or just 9 o'clock in the morning. But this is that which was spoken by the prophet Joel, shall come to pass the last day, said God, I'll pour all the spirit of all flesh. Your sons and daughters shall prophesy, old men dream, young men see vision. That day, for the spirit that prophesies will sign heaven above, one that believe blood and fire, there was no before the midnight of the Lord shall come, and it shall come to pass as ever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. That say all the time now, they begin to talk about the faith of David. I both dead and buried. It's affected with us until this day. But David, being a prophet, faithful with Jesus Christ, I will not leave his soul in hell. As of the flash of his holy once eruption, pieces of all the house of Israel, Lord, surely that the same Jesus, you will take a wicked hand, and before the determined counsel and foreknowledge of God, you have crucified him and slain him. God will not suffer his flesh eruption, nor leave his soul in hell, raised him up from the dead, and made him both Lord and Christ. And the Bible said when they heard this, not when they felt this, when they heard this, the Bible said they were rent in their heart, they were convicted, they were convinced, and then they said, men and brethren, what shall we do? Not what shall we get, not what shall we feel, but what shall we do? Peter, guided by the Holy Spirit, said to them, repent and be baptized, every one of you, in the name of Jesus Christ, for the remission of sin, and you shall receive the gift of the Holy Spirit, for the promise unto you and your children, and to all that are far off, even as many the Lord our God shall call. And the Bible with many other words. I don't know what the word, but the Bible says many other words. I'd like to know what I don't know. With many other words. The New Testament exalts, save yourself. Sometimes in this situation you can't save mom. Save yourself. Sometimes you can't save dad. Save yourself. Sometimes you can't save husband. Save yourself. Sometimes you can't say wifey. Save yourself. Sometimes you can't say kiddo, neighbors, but save yourself. Upon this whole generation, then they that glad laugh. Not madly, but gladly. You know, that's why I don't believe in saying invitations on all night. I think when a person understands what truth is, what they need to do, they ought to just be waiting for the invitation. We baptized a lady 94 years old some years back, and I'll tell you, when the church said invitation, she came hollering out. Running down the house. I just could not wait for the invitation. I'm ready to obey my Lord. I like when we be ready. If you've got to sing all night for them to come out even being ready. That's right. Don't stop singing all night. Bible say they that gladly received the word baptized, and the same day there were added unto them about 3,000 souls. Praising God, having favor with all the people. And the Lord added day by day those who were being saved that were added to the church. Such as should be saved. I believe you see that. Do you not know that Peter and the rest of the apostles and Paul preached the same message? Peter had got their attention and preached the death, the burial, resurrection of Jesus Christ. In 1 Corinthians chapter 15, Paul said, "More brethren, I declare you the gospel, which I preached unto you, which also you have received, and where ye stand. For which also you are saved, if you keep remembering what I preached unto you, unless you have believed in vain. For I delivered to the first of all, that which also I received, how that Christ died for our sin, according to the Scripture, that it was buried, that it rose again the third day, according to the Scripture." Now they preached the same message. Now let's go this briefly, and I'll conclude. Now they preached the same message, and this was called a form of doctrine. In River Rouge, Michigan, there were 4 plants there. You know, if you go out there, they start a chassis in the beginning of that plant. And just a few minutes, when it goes down through there, you see a Ford car run off the assembly line for testing in just a few minutes. And you don't see no Ford come out this time, then an Oldsmobile the next time, then a Buick the next time, and a Cadillac the next time. Everything that runs out on the assembly line is a Ford. They're set up to produce Ford. The gospel of Jesus Christ, this is called a form of doctrine. Brother Moore's familiar with pouring concrete. You don't just go out there and pour concrete on the ground. You build a form. When that concrete sets up, it's just like the form. If you build circle step, nobody tamper with that. When it sets up, you're going to have circle step. If you pull circle step, you leave before they set up, come back the next day to square, somebody mess with your form. Amen. If nobody tamper with it, just like when I was a kid, my mother had a couple of butter molds. Some of you older folks know what I'm talking about. Some young folks may never see the butter mold. When the butter would come, the churn of milk, the butter come, she'd get that butter from the churn, squeeze that milk out of it, pack it in the mold, and put that cap on it. When the butter got cold, all those pretty little designs in that mold was on that butter. Now she didn't put that butter in a round mold and it came out square. It came out just like the mold. This mold right here, you understand, I've been sealed with the blood of Jesus Christ. Yes. You understand that God planned, Christ executed, and the Holy Spirit revealed. Yes. All 3 personalities of the Godhead. I believe you can see that. Therefore, we understand when they went through this form, down the apostolic age, when they died for sin, like Christ died on the cross. When they were buried in the liquid grave of baptism, like Christ was buried in Jordan, they rose into life in Christ. And the Lord added them to the church, for they became Christian individually. They were Christians. They weren't this kind of Christian, that kind, or some other kind. They were nothing more, nothing less, and nothing else. See, God never have given us the authority to use man's name to denominate one Christian from another. No, sir. In Acts 11:26, the Bible says they were called Christians first at Antioch. In 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 16, if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed. Rather, let him glorify God on this behalf. In Acts 26 and verse 28, Agrippa said, almost thou persuaded me to be a Christian, kind, that kind of was Christian. Individually, they became Christians, and then they were added to the church by the Lord.
Yes.
Now, the preaching of the gospel, the sowing of the seed. Now, they sowed the pure seed, and that seed produced Christians then. It will not produce watermelon tonight. It will not produce cucumbers tonight. It will not produce Democrats tonight. It will not produce Dixiecrats tonight. It will not produce independents tonight. It will not produce that tonight the same thing it produced then. Why would you see that? If Peter farmed into root and raised corn, and that corn had been kept pure down through the generation and brought and planted American soil, you would produce the same kind of corn Peter raised. If you hear from Mississippi in Texas, and you go down to Mississippi and get some long staple cotton, plant that long staple cotton in Texas soil, if you gather a crop, you will get a long staple cotton the same kind they raised back in Mississippi. First century, the gospel seed produced Christian. In the 20th century, that same seed is planted. It produced the same thing tonight it produced then. And just will not produce something tonight which never did produce during the apostolic age. Tonight, my friend, you heard the gospel of Jesus Christ. Acts 15 and verse number 7. You can sit right there and believe the same with all of your heart. In Hebrews 11 and verse number 6. John chapter 8 and verse number 24. John chapter 20 and verse 30 and 31. And then sit right there, make up your mind, remember everything that's considered God's will. In Luke 13, 3 and 5. Acts 17 and verse 30. Acts 3 and verse 19. Acts 2 and verse 38. Matthew 21 and verse 28. Must confess your faith in Christ as God's Son. In Matthew 10 and verse 32. Romans chapter 10 and verse 10. Philippians 2, 9 and 11. Revelation 3 and verse 5. Mark 8 and 38. Acts 8 and 37. And then be buried with the Lord in water baptism in the name of the sacred cream according to Matthew chapter 28 and verse 18 through 20. And that for the forgiveness of sin in Acts 2 and verse 38. To us all of the passing away, Acts 22 and verse 16. In the family relationship with Jesus Christ, Galatians 3, 26 and 27. In the Christ's death, Romans 6, 3 and verse 4. Operation take place, Colossians 2 and verse 12. It was in Hebrews 10 and 22. It sanctifies Ephesians 5 and verse 26. It saves in 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 21. You're born again in John 3, 5. And the Lord adds to the church Acts 2, 41 and 47. Their faith of Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10. Receive a crown that faded not away in James chapter 1 and verse number 12, 2 Timothy chapter 4 and the verses 8. And live faithful to death, after a while in the Bible, be able to live with God in heaven beyond this veil of tears, where all pain, sickness, sorrow, and death will never invade. The Lord is standing right now and pleading and saying, come you all that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I'm meek and low in heart. Ye shall find rest for your soul. My yoke is easy, and my burden they are light. Every time I read this invitation, I remind that farmer goes out early, works hard and on his day, working late in the evening. He can go home and his rest is sweet. But then this man that goes out and works hard in that business, the 8 hours, in the evening when everything has been filed away, he can go home and his rest is sweet. Also remind of those persons who are willing to accept the Lord's invitation, and after a while in the by and by, when our farm would have bended low, when our eyebrows would have bedecked our brows, when our cheek would have been corroded by the finger of time, when the captain of our salvation will get us to stand on the quiet plain of never-ending eternity. We have shuffled off the thing that models and put on immortality, and then we can go home and live with God in that eternal rest, where all these former things in this life will have been passed away, where the streets are paved with golden walls are made of dust. My friends, tonight the Lord is pleading right now. Are you willing to obey Him right now? If so, as we stand together and sing tonight, why not come right now?
Oh, do not let the word depart.